cell phone charger back there if you need one.
Oh, thank you.
You're very welcome.
Looks like you got unicorns in the back trunk there.
Oh, of course. Yeah, those are, my daughter, she still likes them, but she's like on her way to not.
How old is she?
She's 11.
Okay.
So it's been unicorns for the past 10 years, but now she's like, Daddy, I don't like unicorns anymore. I don't know what you're talking about.
one of my girls just turned 7, so
oh, yeah.
she's still in the middle of
right in the middle of it. Hey, I got a ton of unicorn stuff if you want it. Yeah, she's 10, getting ready to like be a teenager now. I'm just so different. You said you have 2 daughters, or?
I do, yeah. I've got a 3-year-old and a just turned 7. So.
Oh, nice. Okay, so they're right at that young, fun age where it's.
Yeah.
They still like you a lot. That's the best part. When the daughters still like you.
That's true.
You know, that's like, I'm already, like I said, that she's 11 and I can already tell she's getting tired of whatever comes out of my mouth.
That's so funny. Yep, I'm waiting for it. It's going to happen soon. They're pretty good right now.
Right? Yeah. And it really is. And that's the thing. I'm from California. I'm very much a hippie.
Yeah.
So, like, rebelling against me is her being the most boring kid on the planet. That's the only way to rebel against what I do, is to just conform nonstop. So that's what she's going to do.
What is this thing right here?
That's a microphone. Yeah, so I'm a comedian, so I actually have a show where I interview people while I drive them around. I blur all this out so you have no idea who's in the back. It's called Getting in Cars with Strangers.
Interesting.
Yeah, so I just have the chat, and if people don't want to go online, not a problem. But I have a YouTube channel, and
very cool.
Yeah. But it's a lot of fun. I talk to a lot of people, especially going to the airport. I talk to a lot of pilots. I talk to a lot of people who just landed. So it's great. I really love it. Plus, I get to test out some material from time to time if I.
Yeah, it's great. I just started a YouTube channel, so it's
nice. Okay.
taking a while to get it going.
What's your channel about?
I'm an attorney, and it's all about legal issues.
Oh, that's fun.
But it's super niche related. I do the big money for me is in big software purchases.
Oh, sure. So
like,
that's what is it? Intellectual property.
Yeah. Yep. So like it's like a Fortune 500 company is gonna purchase from Microsoft or SAP or Oracle or I mean, there's a whole bunch of those.
I work in tech. I know all those. Yeah.
And so and it's one deal we have now. It's I don't remember exactly, but it's over 10 million just for the software, and then it's probably 14 million for the integration or implementation.
Right.
Ernst & Young. And so,
okay, Ernst & Young. I know that. Okay.
And that's good. And I got that from the videos, which is good.
Okay.
But what you want is, when as horrible as it is, but I mean, as an attorney, what you want is a lawsuit, right? I mean, I want a software failure, where somebody spent, $10 million on software, and they can't get it to work, and so now they want to sue.
Sure.
That's very profitable.
I bet. Oh, of course, litigation, once you actually have to go, that's where the real money gets.
Yeah, it gets really expensive quickly.
Yeah, I'm well aware. I'm also in family court. I know that's where the real money is the litigation.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that makes a lot of sense.
Those are divorce attorneys, which I'm assuming you're talking about. I don't know.
Right. Well, I was never married, so it's just I got all the fun of a divorce without actually getting married.
That's horrible.
Yeah.
Oh, that's horrible.
It's funny. I dive right into it though. I just got married 10 days ago, so I'm starting it over. I'm ready for round 2. Make all the same mistakes again. That's what I'm hoping.
Oh yeah. But those attorneys bill. I mean, and they're dealing with individuals, which is crazy.
Oh yeah. Right, and they bill hour. I mean, it was like $300-400 an hour, $600 an hour.
Yeah. The hourly fees now go all the way up to $2,000.
Oh, I bet.
Depending on, I mean, that's like a New York attorney.
Oh yeah.
Or a big market.
Yeah.
Which Chicago is too, but not as big as those. Not New York rates. But it can approach that very quickly.
Oh, I'm sure. Oh yeah. Yeah, and it's like, of course, it's your kid, so you're going to pay it.
Yeah.
It makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
So your channel, what's the angle that you're going to be doing with it?
Oh, it's just, the top 3 things you need to negotiate in a software contract.
Cool. Okay.
you know, what issues, you know, do you need to look out for as red flags that your implementation is going to fail.
Sure. Okay.
That kind of thing.
Ooh, interesting.
So it's super niche oriented.
Yeah.
But you know, a friend of mine, he's a consultant and started his own consulting company about 6 years ago. And about 4 years ago, he really dived into the whole YouTube video thing. And I mean, he generated $12 million in revenue last year.
Oh wow.
On pretty, I mean, you know, he's a small time company.
Sure.
And I mean, we're totally different as far as the business model,
but
it's also not that different either.
Okay.
And it's, you know, it's services. And my concern was, and this is kind of the low end of the market if you're doing videos like that. But in reality, it's not. I mean, this guy's referred me, you know, big companies.
Nice.
So,
yeah.
in the past.
Yeah, you never know where the source is going to come from. You never know where someone's going to
you don't.
bite on it. Yeah.
The reality is nobody looks at a phone book anymore, and all the reviews, you know, services that are out there for attorneys. There's you know, like super lawyers. Nobody really cares about super lawyers. I mean, you know, there's certain ones that are prestigious. There's one called Chambers that maybe general counsel for big companies might look at.
Sure.
But they're also Googling people.
Yeah.
And the reality is, if they see, you know, 10 blog posts and 7 videos on the subject that they're concerned about, they're probably going to call you.
Yeah, they're going to take a look at them. They're going to listen. They go, hey, what's this person have to say? Do I like the way they talk? It's like you're presenting yourself before you present yourself.
Yeah,
and
that's exactly right.
Yeah, it's a commercial. It's essentially a commercial for you that's always running and always available.
Yep.
But yeah, so it makes a lot of sense. It doesn't matter how niche the market is. This is what I love about the internet. And again, I'm a comedian, so I understand that you're building your audience. That's the process. You go, you do stand-up, nobody laughs, one person laughs. Well, they're going to come see you again.
Yeah.
Right? And that's it. That's your one person. Then eventually you get an audience full of 1,000 of those single individuals, but it takes, you know, 300 time performances of going very poorly before you get a good audience.
Yeah. I think, you know, that's a hard business. Being a comedian. I mean, I think that's, you know, just perseverance and just taking your lumps and building up your audience over time. And then once you kind of get to critical mass, I think you're probably okay.
Exactly.
But man,
you have to get there.
I do intellectual property law in general.
Sure.
The software stuff is like a niche because it's super profitable.
Yeah.
But it's all, you know, the underpinning is all IP.
Sure.
And so I represent a guy named Colin Kane, who, I mean, probably before the pandemic, he was doing pretty well. I think the pandemic hit him pretty hard, but he's kind of just like folded up, which, I mean, and he had a pretty big following. He never had like an HBO special, but he was touring all the time, and not that that's unusual, really.
Yeah.
I mean, you know.
Right. It's the gig. Yeah.
But I mean, he had some recognition and was doing really well. But I mean, I really think it's just, you know, how much effort, time, and focus you're going to put in the whole thing.
Sure. Oh, this one we get on 1094. I hadn't realized that. It was saying go to the airport, and I was like, is there an airport entrance here? But I'll flip around and get on 294. That's why I thought we were a bit far from it. Okay, all right, so I'll flip around and get onto it. But yeah, see, and unfortunately that did happen. So you're saying he kind of collapsed, and is he trying to get
I don't see any kind of marketing and promotion for him anymore.
Oh wow.
And he was all about it.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, there you go. Yeah.
And I don't think it wasn't like he hit, you know, a gold mine or something and he's like, oh, I'm going to just retire now. I think he was, you know, still on the up and up.
Sure.
But I mean, it was also like, you know, over 10 years that he was pushing.
It's about how long it takes to get started. That, you know, you got to get your 10,000 hours, and they have to be on stage, so it ends up being.
That's true.
So it ends up being quite a bit. Yeah, but and unfortunately, COVID really did hit a lot of people because all their touring stopped. Nobody went on tour; it just went away.
Right.
Yeah.
So all your revenue sources are gone, and I mean, I can't imagine how horrible that would be.
Yeah, there was the Zoom stand-up comedy for a little while, but that was really terrible. And then that was it. It was just 3 years, and I was lucky in that I was working. I have a 9 to 5. I work in tech, so that was nice. But it was, other than that, I had no outlet, no creative outlet, no way to talk to people. I was working from home with no one. My daughter splits the time between her mom and I, and so it was like I was basically alone for most of the time. So it can be kind of haggers on you. That's for sure. How long have you been with your YouTube channel?
It's been like 9 years, but not consistently. About 9 years we started doing these kind of talking head videos.
Okay.
And for back then they were fine.
Sure.
They look really dated right now.
I get you.
And then even 6 years ago we were still doing some videos, and then we kind of changed the format a little bit, and then I just dived into it about 3 months ago.
Great. Okay.
Using the same videographer my friend uses. It's so expensive though. I mean, to do it, because there's different theories on this. I mean, you can be like, okay, well, just use your phone and do this, but I mean, also if you're in a niche market like mine, the customer base is sophisticated.
Very true.
You can't look like you're doing this in your kitchen or something.
Right. So it's got to look a little nicer, have a little presentation to it.
Yeah, but I'm willing to invest in it.
Yeah, well, that's good. Yeah, that's good. And yeah, so you can do that with the camera stuff. You can get a better camera. One thing that I'm very lucky, my wife, she's a big social media content person. She makes clay and all that. She really knows how to build an audience. So she's like, and the one thing advice she gave me, though, I'd give to you, is reels, the shorts, the 1 minute ones.
Oh, yeah?
If you can start getting a bunch of quick little, here's the thing you might not know. Here's the thing that really helps a lot.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, like those little ones, and just start getting them out there and putting them on TikTok also.
Okay.
You're gonna see your views go up. She's like, I can get you 1,000 views in a day.
Oh, wow.
Like actual ones, actual people.
That's
She's
cool.
like, she really knows what she's doing.
We do that. So what we'll do is we'll do a long form of about, I don't know, anywhere from 3 to 7 minutes, right, on the topic, and then we break it up into these component pieces.
Nice.
So we'll get about 3 shorts out of it.
Great.
And those will get, I mean, it depends on the platform too, though.
Yeah.
But I mean, right now, a good reel for me, or a short, gets about 400 views.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's great.
It's
That's a
okay.
great start. Yeah, it's a great start. That is right. That little.
But
seed
the
you
long
got.
forms only get, I mean, it depends. Depends, but they're not hitting very well. But it's
Sure.
also just trying to build an audience.
Exactly.
But the only good thing about having done it for such a long time is that my videos don't really suck. Because usually if you just start,
Yeah.
it's bad,
Yes. Yeah.
and it takes a long time to get good.
Exactly. But and it's good you have an idea, you know what you're doing, and you have a lot of material. If you've already been putting them up, you can revamp those ones and reissue them with a new video, so you've got a lot of content ready to go. And you can start splicing those and making reels out of those and saying, oh cool, we've just got more stuff.
What kind of content are you putting in? Is it all comedy?
It's all comedy, so it's a show. It's called Getting in Cars with Strangers.
Okay.
And that's the YouTube. It's YouTube at Getting in Cars with Strangers. And I just have these conversations, so I'd love to get the name of your YouTube channel and tell people about it and all that too.
Yeah.
But that's it. And like I said, I blur this so nobody knows who's in the back. We just have a conversation. And I go everywhere with conversation. I mean, I talk to people about philosophy. We talk about parenting. We talk about world travel. I'm the type of person where I go on constant internet, labyrinths where I'm just researching stuff, so I can talk politics, I can talk real estate in different parts of the world, I can talk economy, I can talk cryptocurrency and science and space exploration. So I love that type of stuff, and I'm always fascinated by it. So that's what the conversations end up being, just kind of going all over the place, which is a lot of fun. But yeah, so that it's nothing specific, just kind of like, hey, who are you? What do you do? What's your deal? And during the pandemic, I made a list of just different questions I'd love to ask people, and every now and then I'll remember to ask one of those. But for the most part, it's a conversation, and that's what I love about it. Like, I've always found people fascinating. I was doing Uber to pay for attorneys when I lived in California, and I was having such a great time talking to people, and on more than one occasion, somebody said to me, they're like, listen, this conversation really helped me. This really helped me. Like, you should do this more. Like, this is really great. And that kind of inspired me to do the show. That was like, I just like this connection, because, it's 10 minutes, 15 minutes in a car. You're never going to see that person again. And a lot of people kind of being a little more outgoing lets them be a little more forward about stuff. And that's something I really enjoy. And you can have that connection even for 10 minutes. And it almost never fails, where people just at the end of it are like, this was great. Like, thanks so much. Thanks for the conversation. And that's what I really love about it. I've only been putting stuff online for about a year now.
Okay.
And so I'm trying to think of, like, what are some other fun things I can do. I had thought about, I don't believe in it, but I was like, how can I do like a tarot card reading for like the passenger? Just something to get a laugh, just because I think tarot is hilarious. So I would make jokes about it and do something. But obviously, like, you can't, like, shuffle it and, like, do the greeting card like that. It's like, that might not be a good idea. But I definitely want to do something like that. I've had some people where they talk about, they're like, this is like a therapy session. And so I'm like, okay, maybe I can get a degree in psychology or something.
Right.
And just see if that helps. But yeah, that's usually how it goes, which I enjoy. So are you heading out to work somewhere now?
No, I'm going on a family vacation, kind of.
Oh, cool. Okay.
My wife is in Poland right now with my kids.
Okay, I see. You're going to go visit, go hang out in Poland, huh?
Yeah, she's been there for a week, and I'm going to go for 2 weeks, which is, for me, it's a lot of time to spend away from my office.
Of course.
So it's a little stressful.
Yeah.
Because inevitably what happens is some guy comes out of the woodwork that you haven't talked to in 2 years. He's got some multi-million-dollar issue that needs to get resolved. I mean, I work in a firm, so I have other people to help me, but it's still,
Yeah.
you got to be responsive and make sure it all gets done.
Right. Oh yeah, because for them it's life and death. Whatever it is life and death.
Yeah, they don't care that you're on vacation.
Right. You're with your family. You're in a whole other country.
Right.
You're unavailable.
And then you've got opposing counsel who's going to try to screw you over.
Of course.
File some emergency motion with the court. And then the judges don't. They'll just. They'll just require. Okay, we're going to set a hearing next week.
Right.
And it's in person.
Yeah. Oh gosh.
And I've got cases in a couple different states.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Oh wow. Okay. Yeah. So you've got to figure all that travel out.
Are you kidding me? So you don't know what's going to happen.
Oh yeah. You're hoping you get 2 weeks off. You're hoping it'll last. Yeah, I totally get it.
I mean, I've never had it where I had to go. I used to fly back or something.
Sure.
But I've certainly had, where I've had to, especially with the time difference. You're up at 2 in the morning taking phone calls and attending Zoom hearings or something.
Right.
Which sucks.
Oh yeah. Your hair's all messed up. You're like trying to not drink too much coffee to wake up yet. Yeah.
That's tough. But the time difference actually helps you out because it's 7 hours ahead.
Yeah. Well, that's good.
So,
yeah.
Right around 4 o'clock is when everybody starts kind of getting into the office here.
Right.
Over there.
Oh yeah.
And so you can have a full day.
Oh yeah.
And then kind of wind down.
Yeah, that's what I liked. I worked for, you probably know the name, Baker McKinsey.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I worked for Baker doing IT for them for a long time. And what I loved is they had a follow the sun. They were a global firm.
Yeah.
So I would be working on the stuff in the Asia Pacific, working on stuff in Japan, and I would take over, for some of the stuff at the end of the day for the UK, for Europe, because it was end of day for them. So I would be doing all the after hours and early morning stuff, and then just pass it on to the other guys, that were aware of what the sun was at the time. And it made a lot of sense, and it made it a lot easier. You didn't have to hold on to issues, and then it was. I got to learn that schedule of like, I've got to talk to my supervisor, but he's in Copenhagen right now, and so I've got to set the time for I've got to meet with him at 9 because that's 5:30 over there.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. But it's really interesting. How long have you been an attorney?
Over 20 years now.
Wow, nice. Okay. It's really interesting. I found law fascinating. Again, going through that system, it's very elegant. If you can separate yourself from it, you can separate yourself and say, okay, this is just the law, this is just the paperwork, this is how it would work to benefit everyone in an equal fashion, right? In a way that takes me out of it. I think it's very interesting and very elegant, which I think is really cool.
It is. There's that aspect of it. There's kind of the academic, nuanced, intellectual aspect. But it's also like this kind of antiquated profession in some ways where it really is. I mean, like, okay, I'm going to bill hours to this person and they got to pay me for it.
Right.
I mean, it's like old school like that.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
And then so it's kind of a weird way to look at time because you're like, all right, well, I got to do 2,000 hours this year.
Wow.
Or 2,200 hours or, whatever it is.
Right.
And you start thinking about that. Okay, well, that means if I'm going to bill 8 to somebody, I'm going to be here for 10 hours at least.
Right. In order to
and I got to be super efficient all day. I can't go to lunch.
Yeah. Gosh, yes.
Or I can't go take a break or go to the bathroom or Yeah.
Like you start thinking about it like that, it's like, God, that's horrible. Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and if you're billing in 15-minute increments, right?
Oh, it's 6-minute increments actually.
Oh wow, 6 minutes. Oh gosh. Oh man. Wow.
Which is crazy because you
Yeah.
you have clients that you bill them. Like I received and reviewed your email and responded to it, and it took me 0.3.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, you round up, right? So if that's 18 minutes,
yeah. Yep.
but it was actually 13. But what are you gonna?
It rounded up. Exactly. Yeah, it went up. It did what it did.
And then
Oh gosh.
my rate's like 7.
Okay.
7 something. I don't remember. So it's not 8, but it's in the 7s. But
yeah.
So.
Yeah, that ends up being a decent chunk.
Over $200 and $200 for me to read your email. But the client looks at that, they're like, "What the hell, man?"
Right. Oh yeah.
I'm sorry. It's just
it's like, listen, I might have fun, but I'm not doing this for fun. Okay,
Right,
I'm here to get paid. All right.
I don't want to bill you that much, but
right. It's
this is the way it works.
This is the rate. This is it. No, and that's it. And I'm constantly like that when I get an email from my attorney. I'm like, how much of this thing cost me?
Yeah.
I'll find out at the end of the month.
Which sucks though, because then you don't really want to talk to your attorney.
Right, exactly. And that's it was great. The judge had a great point. He said, listen, you don't go get surgery with someone who's not a doctor. You need attorneys that understand the law. It's just a fact of nature.
Well, that is true.
Yeah, and it's just, and that's the problem. And like you said, an antiquated system, this was the thing that I realized again in family court. Family court is overcorrecting for the last 200 years of American culture, right? In the 70s is when they created a lot of this stuff because women were finally allowed to work and finally allowed to have credit cards and all this stuff. And there was this huge overcorrection that was done when women were property. And that's the law. It's reacting to things that had already happened. It's putting things better. And unfortunately, the law will always be behind the society. It's just by design.
It has to be.
And that unfortunately sounds infuriating. Or frustratingly and infuriating because I'm a techie. I'm bleeding edge. What's the new thing? What's the best thing? What's the newest way? And law very much works exactly the opposite of that.
Yeah, because it can't. And I'm in tech law, so it's like you can't. We're constantly having to go to CLEs because like AI right now is like all the rage, right?
Oh yeah.
I mean, and it's actually not really that. I mean, it is. It's very interesting, but what we have in place already actually is adequate enough. But there's nuances.
I get that.
But
that's so interesting. Yeah, and that's such an interesting area of law. I'm very curious about now. Polish Air.
Yeah.
So what's the name of your channel?
Oh, it's just my name, Marcus Harris, I think. Marcus Harris.
Marcus Harris.
What's yours? It's Driving in Cars with Strangers.
Getting in Cars with Strangers. Yeah, Getting in Cars with Strangers. So yeah, so if you're fine, I'll put you up and I'll blur all this out and let you talk about what we talked about.
Sure. Yeah,
awesome. Well, that's great. I can't wait. Again, I'll link people to your YouTube as well.
Sounds good.
All right. Well, Marcus, I hope you have a great flight, and I hope you have a great vacation with your family.
Thank you very much. Let me get my bag.
Of course.
And my phone here. I almost forgot about that. Yeah. All right. Thank you.
Yep, you're welcome.